Eh?
I might as well see what Otto has to say.
Side quest.
What do I owe the honor? Not saying Fordian, do you?
He's better than Excalibur. Third point.
Should last you a good while. No scratches, right? You can thank me later. And?
Oh shit.
Did you see the pair that got hauled into tyres?
Aye, all their fancy silks.
Clive, going purse weighing you down? You're rubbing me blind, you know. It'd better all be here. I'll be thankful you got that much. I reckon I can find a buyer. Finished, are you? Did you see that? Tell me you saw
Good boy. This one's gonna be easy. This one's gonna be hard, but it's gonna be fun. This one gonna be hard.
How are you doing? Anything catch your eye? Think you can help?
Otto,
The realm? As long as you look past the fat storms out mother crystals and her skies or her roilings.
and Gav.
He's with your uncle in the Free Cities, helping Mid with her project. Sent an owl their way the moment the winds turned foul. Still waiting on a reply, though.
Do you have any good news?
Well, that depends on your definition of good.
All right, fine. What do you suggest we do?
Oh, no, I'm just the messenger. I leave the scheming to those more suited to the task. Could be that Lady Vivian and Old Tomes have their own thoughts on the current state of things. Could be that they don't. It certainly can't hurt to ask.
I suppose not.
Fancy a look at the list, do you? Quick look. Always something in there.
How is it that every one of your little excursions presages some inexplicable catastrophe? Not that you are to blame for the Dominion's fate. No one could have predicted the actions of the Crown Prince.
I'm sorry I couldn't save your help.
My countrymen are stronger than you think. A few toppled clock towers won't break their...
I hope so.
Look at us. Bluer than a pair of bog crabs. Tempting though it may be, sulking will not help us find a solution to this mess.
You believe there's one to be found?
I don't know. But I am certain we're more likely to find it if we first examine the facts.
Beneath these darkened skies, fear and confusion reign over Valisthea. Oh, the lands around the fallen Mother Crystals had already begun to wilt for want of ether. But not like this. Crystals that filled wells and fueled furnaces. Now nothing but pretty shards of rock. And those that hang from the people's necks cast nary a glimmer of light to keep the dark at bay. It is only a matter of time before the common folk convince themselves that the end of days is upon us. Yet I fear a swift end is more than we can hope for. While most of the world thirsts for ether, the remainder drowns in it, spawning Akashic in droves. And amidst the hordes of mindless beasts, with magics as like to fail as function, even the strongest nation would falter. Rosaria and the Iron Kingdom teeter on the brink of collapse, while the tragedy in Twinside has all but paralyzed the Holy Empire. Dhalmekia fares little better. Rumor has it the ministers fled the capital after the fall of Drake's Fang, leaving their beloved republic to crumble. Waloed, meanwhile, moves in earnest. The Einherjar has been sighted off Storm. The world, in short, is in chaos. It would seem our civilization was nothing but a castle of sand, to be washed away at the whim of the waves.
A castle of sand.
Not my best flourish, but it seemed fitting. The reports I've received are considerably more blunt in their appraisal. Without the protection of their nations, it will fall to the people to defend themselves against those who would take what is theirs.
Which is only ever going to end one way.
Defending a farmhouse against a band of chocobo thieves is one thing, but pitchforks and palisades will do little to stall an army's advance. Should the King of Waloed deign to invade, there would be none to stop him.
None but us.
Oui, c'était second. Je me rappelle jamais de son deuxième nom. Parce que c'est pas une gros.
There's a storm coming, Sid.
Let me guess. You're here about the skies.
Is there anything you don't know, Lawsman?
It doesn't take a court astrologer to augur the obvious. As for what has disturbed the heavens, that, I believe, is a question the Fallen might be better placed to answer than I. And on the 6th day, did the gods tear the sun from the firmament, visiting darkness upon their prideful sons and daughters. But I dare say you remember your childhood lessons on the sins of Zemeckis only too well.
You think they're connected? That Ultima was one of the gods responsible?
Well, he has certainly exhibited powers that we mortals would associate with the divine.
There is nothing divine about him.
But he wouldn't be the first god of whom that could be said, now would he? Yet for all the fairy tales that tell of the sins, there is almost nothing in the way of actual historical accounts. Had I the Journal of Moss the Chronicler, I may have been able to tell you more, but alas, I fear all remaining copies have been lost to time. You will forgive me, I hope?
Certainly not. Because there is nothing to forgive. Even without this journal, you've provided us ample wisdom. And we will always be grateful for it. Perhaps Otto will be more inclined to share his thoughts when he hears what the others had to say.
I was wondering when next you'd visit. I have a few new notes that might interest you. Now this, I believe you will find most interesting. If you have a question for me, I should be happy to answer it.
Did you see that? Tell me you saw that.
Clive, we have a problem.
Only one. That would be a first.
It would. Actually, there are three. We had as many owls arrive while you were at the shelves. Martha's got a Akashic out her gates, and talk of monsters roaming the hills outside of Northreach has put the wind up Isabel and her lot.
And don't forget Dalimil. Lubor says the village was raided by bandits.
When it rains...
It fucking pours. The curse breakers are spread thin, taking stock of the damage in the Dominion. And even if I could get word to all of them, I doubt they'd get here in time to make any real difference. Which means... there's only two people who can.
Jill and I.
Yeah.
Let them know we're on our way.
Clive! Anything catch your eye?
Yeah, boy.
Do you have any fresh water?
Now I just need to see about getting the word.
Bad news.
Good, actually. The only trouble is the serving girl's still new to the job, so I can't leave her while I go and invite...
What exactly?
I've come by a particularly fine, but Gotan Rouge is the only good thing to have ever come out of the Empire. And, well...
So I've heard.
Oh. So you, a gentleman who might simplify... Would you pass the good news to a few friends of mine? I'll give you...
Yeah,
Sounds simple.
So you'll do it. You won't need to go far. Is Aldrich free of the... Stop by again.
I'll be right back.
Who needs a porter when there's no real...
I've been asked to...
That's me.
The innkeeper sent me.
If he's just got hold of it now...
From the Empire to Boklad. You must be...
certainly. It's all right. The father... I'd say...
Please, a piece of fruit.
Are you Milan, the butcher?
That's me.
The innkeeper's just... He thought you might like... wine and ham.
Comes with... We get meat, or rather we... Still.
You'll buy something, won't
Je
you?
manquerai un petit peu de la quest pour elle.
You've raised the price. I showed you my past. What more do you want from me?
I'm looking for Bolek.
Well, you found him.
The innkeeper sent me. He's just taken delivery of a rep.
I've never said no to a goat hand.
You must be a busy man.
No one's making for the refugee camps anymore. Meaning, they linger here instead. I spend more of my day. What gets to me are the gangs that prey on the poor sods. Some days you can't help but wonder what the... You know what?
All done. I wonder if the innkeeper might spare a cup of that wine.
Do you have any fresh water?
I spoke to your friends.
That's fantastic news. It's been a while since we... And the way I see it, that what...
How so?
Well, I wouldn't be serving anything but slops without Aldrich to go and fetch. And then there's Milan, who always sends customers my way. And those three are the backbone of Boklad. And without the market, I wouldn't have a single customer. I'd say that's worth...
And more besides.
Everyone needs a shoulder to lean on. Be they world-weary innkeepers or brooding swordsmen, right? I'd better prepare...
I hear you had me carrying a bottle of Gotan 66. If I'd have known, I would have sold the thing and lived like a lord. Oh,
A Gotan 60 bloody 6. Just as well I had something special of my own set aside. A bottle between the four of us might not be enough to drown our sorrow.
Here they are! The woes of the world may be monstrous in many, but there's nothing like a few good friends.
Never a truer word spoken.
Bonjour, Arwen. Bonjour, ma grosse fille. Hein? Bonjour, mon bébé. Oh, du grosse fille, l'amour. Ouais, c'est pas le mieux détaillé, le nuage, hein? Oh, c'est pas grave, ça, bébé, hein? C'est pas grave. Oh, grosse fille.
Cid, your new companion appears much more formidable than your uncle. Should I be worried?
You haven't been introduced.
Jill, Clive has told me much about you.
All lies, I'm sure.
Your Stolas said that Dalimil has a bandit problem.
Indeed. Although, you're a little late. They left with our food and guild days ago.
Any idea where they went?
The desert's a big place. Your guess is as good as mine. But the fact is...
What did you say to me? What did you say?
Ah, as if by magic. Let's just say we've yet to reach a consensus about how... And at this rate, it won't be the actions of the bandits which prove to be our undoing. It will be our own. Now, I've tried reasoning with the dissenting parties, but even the Desert Hare has limits.
Perhaps we could talk to them.
What makes you think they'll listen to us?
What makes you think they won't?
She makes a fair point, Cid. And you won't have wasted much of your precious time if you fail. They're just across the courtyard.
Suppose we just follow the shouting.
T'es trop loin pour que je puisse la tête à tête comme il faut. T'es trop loin. Il y a un fucking meurtre ici, hein?
Poor bastard. Couldn't run because of the weight of his load. Still, better a branded than one of us.
You wouldn't talk like that if it had been your men whose throats were slit. Blood for blood, it's the only way. We hire mercenaries and have them mount the bandits' heads on our walls as a lesson to the rest.
And what happens when those mercenaries are slaughtered like your men? Are you going to hire more? We're better off using that coin to buy food and supplies. If we hire mercenaries, the only thing we're buying is the bandit's ire. And you cannot fill empty bellies with that. Do you hear me?
But what happens when they come back? Maybe it'll be your throat that's slit.
That's enough. Both of you. Any more of this and I'll throw you out myself. Come back when you're ready to talk like adults.
Victor. What's he doing here?
Cid. And Lady Jill. What brings you here?
I was about to ask you the same thing.
Costness is in chaos, and the markets have all but ceased to operate. The Briar's Kiss here in Dalimil is the only place I can reliably obtain supplies. I was here to do just that when Master Lubor told me of his troubles. He thought I might be able to talk some sense into these fools. But if you're here, I suppose his patience must be waning.
Who are those people?
Those were the thorns in Lubor's side. These are cursed skies, or an entire...
We're still working on the skies. Perhaps we can find a solution.
I hope so.
So, you see my predicament?
What I saw was a room full of people who were angry and afraid, but if left to smolder.
My thoughts exactly. Both sides wish to protect their homes and livelihoods, if only they could agree on how. But as long as they are divided, we are vulnerable.
And if there's one thing bandits like, it's an easy target.
What would Cid the Out...
Well, if it were my namesake, he'd let them choose for themselves, and be on hand to pick up the pieces when it all went wrong.
That sounds like a recipe for disaster.
A recipe for disaster is precisely what it is. But perhaps that realization would be enough to make them question the ingredients. While it's plain neither Conrad nor Natalie will countenance the other's proposal, it may still be possible to make them doubt their own. Before presenting them with a third option.
And that would be?
To pool our resources and save the city ourselves. Why fight each other?
When all that fear and anger can be directed at the bandits.
It appears we have a plan of act. Victor, pay Conrad a visit. See if you can't...
As you wish.
Your face is Don't worry. Victor and I will do most of the talk.
Play along.
What he means to say...
Picture it, Conrad. Here she is. The Lady of the Spear herself. Conrad, may I introduce you to Jane, commander of the Red Wings, the oldest mercenary guild in the Free Cities.
A pleasure, my lady.
The pleasure is all mine.
As I told you, I summoned the commander here from Canver to inquire about a contract.
Victor says you told him no. That there aren't any men left to hire. Is that true?
True as the crystals cracked. Nobles came and claimed every last one worth his salt. And not just from us Red Wings. You know of the 7 high houses. There must be 200 swords assigned each one. Granted, we have a few boys left. If it's boys you're looking for.
Well, Conrad, are you saying that Dalamel's finest cannot defend this town better than a gaggle of unblooded striplings? That a band of beardless youths could better avenge the deaths of your brave men than you yourselves?
Absolutely not. We'll show those bastards who they're dealing with.
I can't believe that actually worked.
Conrad's not what you called the brightest candle in the crypt. And there's a reason why I had you do the talking and not Cid. Well played, my lady.
My shop.
If I had my pickaxe, I would...
I mean, it may still be possible to buy something, and we may... Here he is now. Natalie, allow me to introduce Lord Underhill of Randalar's prestigious League of Merchants.
Lord Underhill. At your service.
Underhill?
I was just telling the good lady of our conversation, my lord, and how you were lamenting the state.
Lubor says that not only are the granaries almost empty, but that war and the Blight...
Indeed, certainly that is the case. The nobles in the capital are buying up the city's stocks of barley and wine, driving the prices higher than most commoners can afford. It is only a matter of time before the peasants revolt.
It is worse than I thought. If what Lord Underhill says is true, and while I applaud your endeavors to dissuade our more bellicose citizens from seeking vengeance, Which means that now, more than ever, if our humble town is to endure not only this hardship...
All right. If it... But you needn't have gone through this.
Thank you, Clive. Your performance was not... She saw right through. I didn't say it was good. Merely that it... Now, my scouts should be returning shortly. Meet me back at the Briar's Kiss, and we shall see what we face.
Pourquoi tu t'installes pas de ce côté ici, bébé?
Not convinced our roles in this rooms were entirely necessary.
Ta tête, comme tu aimes.
I don't know. Conrad seemed quite taken with you.
Ah, c'est correct, bébé fait. Hein? Bon.
It appears I have no choice but to do what they thought.
Mummy, I'm scared.
Oh, I'm ruined.
Good news. Both Conrad and Natalie have somewhat with time.
Time no longer appears to be the luxury.
I take it your scouts found the bandits.
Technically, it would be the bandits who found my scout. All.
You're not serious.
They don't just want food.
I have a fate. I'm told the bandits march in 2 groups. One from the south and one from the desert.
Very well. Jill and I will meet them.
The rest, my friend, mistakes I concede are high.
That is a lot of faith to put into those who had their hands.
Then it will be for us to see that...
I thought you might.
We'll hold them off for as long as...
And we will do that.
The women folk have come to welcome us.
I'll take that one.
He's all yours.
They mean to overwhelm us.
to rewind up. Ich war mit så band. Ska inte uppsätta något klar.
The townspeople. Could they have held out?
I don't hear any fighting. What do you think?
That we should hurry.
Natalie, I owe you an apology. You did well out there. The inn would have been lost had you not held the line.
Without you, there would have been no line. You saved us, Conrad.
We all saved.
Conrad seems to have had a change of heart.
I'd say they both...
I take it from your presence that,
The plan, granted, it only took an...
Calm now, Victor. What? We are united. As for you, Sid...
I'll take that as...
Même pas stabilité là.
So, where did you learn to swing a sword like that?
In a desert full of ne'er-do-wells, a woman has to learn to look...
Marked as rest. Bon, je bug avec des flammes, c'est chill.
This man's gonna die if we don't get him to a healer.
What the fuck is going on here?
Martha, it's good to see you.
And you, Clive. Jill?
Otto said he'd been attacked by a Kashik.
Those skies are what happened. There were hundreds of them. Tried to storm the hill. Only a handful made it up here. The rest are still down there now. And while we have a...
What do you think, Clive?
That we join the fight.
I thought you'd never offer. Now, where I need you is the Fallen Gate. Let the men know you've come to help. Something tells me they'll be pleased to see you.
We're on our way.
Do you think there are as many as Martha says?
I fucking hope so.
You don't think they've abandoned us, do you?
Je pense maintenant que je cache plus le principe, je vais me réinstaller DMC.
Clive, wounded.
We deal with the Akashic first. Vous le décaler. Allez, vous la décaler, mon amour.
These men don't have the look of hired swords.
If you've come to rob this place.
You are mistaken, my Lord Rosfield. We're here by Madame Martha's leave.
How do you know my name?
Forgive me, my lord. There wasn't time for introductions. We're with the Guardians of the Flame.
Wade's men? But how did you come to be here? Where is your commander?
Sir Wade left earlier with a scouting party to find out...
Did he? Take your wounded back to the inn. Martha will see you're looked after. We'll join...
Oh, que je t'aime, mon bébé. Oh, que je t'aime.
And to think you took them for thieves. A fine reward for holding off the horde, that is.
When did Wade and his men arrive?
Not long after Rosalith fell. The Guardian, they were making...
Martha! The scouting party's almost at the lift. They've got wound...
Damn it all.
We'll worry about them, Ma.
You look after everyone.
I will.
Why? It's as it would really sometimes. Yeah, that's good.
My brothers.
Mad dogs. The law
You all right, boy?
Good to go. Oh, ça va pas mal aujourd'hui, hein?
Squire, I need you to get those who can still walk up the lift to Martha's. But what about... I didn't ask, Oscar. Sir.
Sir Wade.
Lord Rossfield. If you aren't a...
Martha seemed to think you might need... And by the looks of it...
We thought we could... But we didn't know there would be so...
Behind you!
Damn it. We need to get the injured to safety.
Do you think we can hold them off?
We can certainly try. Are you with us, Sir Wade?
Always.
Then let's do our duty.
Ouais. C'est pas mal le bon build, ça, je pense.
You're finished.
Is anyone hurt?
I don't think so.
You've never been one to show.
I see you're all in one.
Martha!
Is something wrong?
The lookout saw smoke coming from down East Pool way.
A second...
Feel like finishing.
Always.
Jill and I will make for East. You'll need to move the...
Don't you worry about...
The moment my men are safe.
Mad dogs.
Just patch me up as quick as you...
They're headed for the rest.
We have to slow them down. Martha and the others won't be ready.
Something's coming.
Apologies, my lord. Did I miss anything?
Only the first round, so wait. Shall we?
Ça va? Une grosse fille. Il me restait encore un puis 2 habitats. Je pense que je vais trouver un assez bon build. J'ai une grosse fille.
Do you see any more?
No.
Tu vas gratter le
I think that was the last of them.
But it won't be long before the next lot arrive.
Then we make for Martha's while we can.
What did you find out there?
The same as Sir Wade. Scores of Akashic.
Well, wherever they came from, they're... gone now. Our lookouts say the lowlands are clear. Hopefully we'll have enough time to lick our wounds.
How many of your men were injured?
A damn sight less than if you had. Thank you.
Remain dark, I fear the Akashic's numbers are only going to rise. It's not a matter of if the Horde will be back, but when. And whether that's sooner or later, we'll need to be ready. The inn here affords a good view of the land, and is easily defendable. I'd like to make this one of our outposts.
What do you say, Martha?
Well, when you put it like...
Es-tu contente, ma grosse fille, qu'à papa soit là? Vous le voyez pas à la face, là, mais... Elle t'a pas été
My lord,
bavée, hein?
there's someone I'd like you to meet.
Si tu étais une baveuse, tu baverais.
Oscar, over here. It is an honor to make... I am Oscar.
Murdoch.
Oh, he didn't. But his brother... Well, go on, then. It's not for me to ask him. Yes, Sir Wade. If it please you, my Lord Marquis, might you take me as your squire? I would learn the duties of a shield from the finest.
I'm sorry to disappoint you, Oscar, but I'm a shield no longer. Nor was I ever the finest. And spending time in the company of an outlaw hardly seems a fitting education for one aspiring to take his oaths.
My Aunt Hannah once told me that a man is not defined by his title, but what he does in its name. You have accomplished much since taking on the mantle of Cid, winning no little honor in so doing. And I would sooner serve under an honorable outlaw than an unworthy shield. Not that Sir Wade and the other Guardians are... I mean to say that, they're... It's all right. We know what you mean. There is only so much the boy can learn from me, my lord.
But a squire...
Would that really be so bad? You were a squire once. And I'm certain Sir Rodney would approve.
Regarde ça, je t'ai même pas brossé, puis ça c'est le poil que tu me donnes. Hein? Ça c'est pas
Know
brossé.
that I'll show
Hein?
you as much
C'est pas
leniency
brossé,
as your
ça.
uncle showed me.
I would not have it any other way.
I have a squire now. Oh, t'es content? Tu fais des gros ronds? Qui croira? Oh, je t'aime, ma fille, hein? Good girl. Good girl. Gros bébé. Gros bébé, c'est ça que t'es. T'es un gros bébé. T'es marron. Gros bébé. Sorry about that. Reach. Kitos that one. Kitos.
First we find Isabel.
Kitos.
Heard a bloke saying he saw ghosts on the far side of the wall.
I saw it with my own eyes. The whole of Oregon.
I can't do it.
My lord. My lady.
We received the dame's message. There have been sightings of strange creatures, I understand.
With the blue eyes. They've taken some men. A cat.
Ultimus thralls. And what of your mistress?
Oh, no. She went to the...
Then we'll look for her there.
We could leave. But where? The two soldiers were carried.
Madame, please!
Half the garrison's been slaughtered by those things. We lost the captain this very morning.
We've tried requesting reinforcements, but there's been no word from the capital or the Dominion in days! What more would you have us do?
I would have you do your duty. Those at the Vale look to me for protection. And protect them I shall. Because they are my charges, and that is my duty. In case you have forgotten, the people of this town are your charges. But more than that, they are your people. Your sisters, your brothers, your lovers. So you have a choice. Lay down your sword and watch as they are slaughtered. Or take it up and do what is right.
She speaks the truth, you know. This here, it's all we have. It's all that's left.
What we have left is our lives! Do you really want us to lose them as well?
Not if we don't have to. Look, there's a cask under the captain's bunk. Let's talk about this over a drink, eh?
I'm listening.
I'll have a word with him.
Ah, Clive. I didn't expect help to arrive so quickly. And sought to take matters into my own hands.
It was a noble effort. But I thought you might still need some support.
How like you to consider my needs. What we need to consider is where the creatures came from. The way the survivors speak of them, one would think they appeared out of thin air. And perhaps they did. It's hard to know what to believe these days.
We'll talk to the survivors. You're a pikeman, yes? What happened?
I've got family in Moor. I heard the flood was spreading, so I went to see if they were all right. And a pack of them glowing things found me in the meadow. I ran for my life. I never did get to the village.
Leave that to us.
But my family... They're still in the capital.
I'm sorry, darling. I truly am.
C'est pas agréable ça. Regarde, c'est le fun ça. Juste déposer comme ça, c'est le fun, ça fait du bien. C'est ma main, là. C'est ma main. La même main qui te flatte depuis tantôt. Ok, je vais te laisser tranquille. Finalement, vu les câlins de madame, hein, elle a réalisé que ma main c'est pas la brosse. Regardez ici la brosse, elle ressemble ici, regarde. Elle n'a plus de brosse. Elle n'en a plus. Ta petite tête. Ta petite tête. Ta petite tête d'amour. Oui, grosse fille. Grosse fille d'amour. Grosse putain.
Don't leave me, Paul.
Dude, it's all right. Did you see the creatures that attacked you?
Creatures? They came out of nowhere.
Do you remember where you...
On the road from Oriflamme.
It's all right. At least we have an idea of where the thralls might be now. We should head for more.
Before we could even draw his...
It was all they could do to escape. They just left the bodies there in the flood.
Run like the wind.
Clive, look.
I see them. With me!
Should I prime?
Save your strength.
C'est pas un mec, ça, c'est juste une flotte. C'est juste une fucking attaque normale.
You're finished. Stay down. Too slow. Muhammad! Thanks, boy. All yours, Torgal. Get him. Let's try. That's better.
C'est tellement brisé. C'est tellement brisé. C'est tellement fort.
Do you think there are more?
There are always more. But I'd say we've done what we can for the time being.
Then we should let Isabel know.
Tu vois bien que c'est juste dans ta tête, bébé. Ça fait du bien.
You have the town's thanks.
Don't thank us yet. There will be more. Many more. And you'll need to be ready for them.
Oh, we shall.
Ça fait du bien.
Isn't that right, Captain?
Yes, milady. The garrison will be ready.
Philippe here has convinced most of the men to remain at their posts. For now, at least.
Hearing that the Dane would look kindly on any man who committed himself to the task certainly didn't hurt. It's not the most selfless of motives, I'll admit. But whatever it takes, eh? Now me, I never needed convincing. I became a soldier to protect the people I love. And the people I love include the one standing before me.
Handsome and chivalrous.
Now, if you don't mind, I have sentries to post. Milady.
Lest you wonder, I'm not foolish enough to believe that this has solved all of my problems. But it has solved one. And that's one fewer than I had this morning. Thank you again, Clive.
Ok, on finit celle-là, puis après ça c'est fini. Je te promets. T'es-tu en train de faire des ronrons? Tu fais des ronrons pendant que je te brosse? Bon, fait que c'est vraiment pas si pire, hein, finalement. Ça fait du bien laver les poils morts. faisais des ronrons il y a 30 secondes. Hein? Oh là 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 là. Tu fais actually encore des ronrons. Pourquoi tu fais des ronrons puis t'attaques? Hein? Pourquoi tu fais des ronrons puis t'attaques? Non, mais Erwan, tu t'en reviens puis y'a du poil qui revole partout là. Hein? Attention à pas tomber mon amour.
Our friends seem to have things under control. For now.
C'est gros là ce que j'enlève à Erwan. À toutes les fois que je passe la brosse. Peu importe si je la brosse peu de fois d'affilée ou si je l'ai pas brossé depuis. Bon, si je l'ai pas brossé depuis un bout, ça va être encore pire. C'est ça, j'en sors 4-5 là. Facilement 4-5 à chaque fois. C'est le bordel.
This one.
We're not alone.
There he is.
Back to the stables, girl.
Hello, you.
Not the god's forsaken soul, eh? Only those who have nothing. So empty your pockets. Too slow. Others will free! This one. All yours, Torgal. To me, please.
A deserter turned outlaw. We were more similar than he knew.
stock de potions, puis après ça, on s'en va au Maggot Brothers. Je vous donne combien?
Will we ever see the sun again?
Non, jamais. Because fuck you.
Aye, it's a dangerous world out there. It'd better all be here. You're rubbing me blind, you know. Finished, are you?
There,
be safe.
more vengeance. No more war.
Bahamut. L'aspect de Bahamut est tellement fort. Aïe 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 aïe.
Still alive, are you? If you're gonna buy something, be quick about it. You're rubbing me blind, you know.
Did you see that? Tell me you saw that.
Oh, I wasn't expecting you back so soon. Here you are.
1500 ability points. Alright, I'll take that.
All done?
Prends le master. Je m'en fous, je pense le master. Eux, je les ai master parce que je les ai mis ailleurs. Eux, je les master parce que ça les rend plus forts. J'en ai appris aucun. Ouais, mais Flames of Rebirth, ça me fait un ah ouais. En même temps, ça c'est pas mal un bon ah ouais. Oh, it's not upgraded. This is upgraded? Yeah. Let me upgrade that. Coupon. Okay, must do the rank guess.
Was wondering at ours from all our friends. How is it you always managed?
Luck, I suppose. Any word on the
Let's see. The nations are still in chaos, and the skies are still the colour of a kick in the...
Right.
Clive, we knew this was going to happen. Well, not the bleeding skies part, but you take now's the time to visit the...
Thank you, Otto.
En fait, moi, juste l'aspect de Shiva puis l'aspect d'Odin à les récupérer. Pour que je les ai toutes. L'aspect de Shiva, c'est Jill qui l'a. I don't want to kill Jill. I just want the aspect.
So it was not Sylvester, but Olivier who served as Ultima's pup. And when Dion learned of this, he sought to slay the fiend. Only for his father to take the spear that would...
Je reviens. All right.
Freed him.
Small wonder he hasn't stirred. I would be afraid to wake.
Had I but reached out to him sooner, warned him of the threat Ultima posed. But now, both an empire and her prince lie broken.
Joshua, what do you know of Ultima?
Very little, I'm afraid. Despite my best efforts. 18 years ago, as I lay buried beneath the rubble of Phoenix Gate, 'twas not death who came for me, but another. And it was while in my rescuer's care, I first heard of Ultima. I've been chasing his shadow ever since. Ultima is driven by... Some deep, dark purpose, and for whatever reason, it would seem you are crucial to his designs. He will stop at nothing to have you, even if that means toppling an empire.
But why me? What possible use could I be to such a creature?
That is one of many answers that have eluded me. Yet, I am certain of this. It is not mere chance. You were chosen for a reason. All dominants carry within them the might of an icon. Nigh limitless power that is at once acutely limited. I wield fire, and only fire.
And I only ice. 8 wardens for 8 elements. But you, Clive...
You are different. You're special. Your abilities begin with the flames of Ifrit. But they do not end there. The fact Ifrit can even exist goes against everything we thought we knew of dominance. Perhaps Ultima has been waiting for one such as you, whose potential is truly limitless.
I've encountered that thing several times now. If it or he, as you say, needs me, why hasn't he claimed me as he did the boy?
Were I to hazard a guess, I'd say the two of you are somehow incompatible. His mind not properly attuned to your body.
His mind?
Mind, awareness, spirit, call it what you wish. But I believe Ultima to be an embodiment of the concept. This is why I struggle and fail to contain him here inside me.
I'm sorry. Inside you?
With every setting sun, I feel my strength wane. And though the Phoenix's flames mend the prison I have made for Ultima, they do so at a cost. We must find a means to bring an end to him before I meet my own.
What were you thinking?
It was that or let him take Clive. And I've always had a soft spot for my brother.
But that doesn't mean you should sacrifice yourself to save me.
Joshua. Clive, it's Gav. There's an army of Akashic at the gates of Canver.
Well, what's the short of it?
It's all Tyre told you. The capital of the Free Cities is under siege by an army of monstrosities. The city guard are doing their best to stem the tide, but numbers ain't on their side.
What of Lord Byron and Mid? Were they able to escape?
No, but they're all right for now. They're hiding with Gav at midship.
We have to get them out of there.
And we shall. Otto, prepare a Stolas. Tell Gav to stay exactly where he is.
Understood.
Vivian, what's the swiftest route to the Free Cities?
That sounds like a question for the map. Look here. This road, through Tabor, should provide the least trouble.
Good.
What a coincidence. Tabor is exactly where I'm bound.
Joshua, bed is where you should be bound.
You don't think I told him the exact same thing?
Were Tyre not such a talented healer, I would surely have been inclined to agree. But, thanks to her ministrations, I feel I may safely rejoin my attendant, who was to wait for me in Tabor if we became separated.
All right, we travel together.
Clive.
If he stays close to me, he'll be fine.
Thank you, brother.
I'll look after him.
Seems the hideaway. Is a storm coming, Sid? Will there be...
Sid, perhaps you can help me solve a mystery.
I can certainly try. Who's gone missing this time?
It's not who, but what. Mid's scales, the ones she made for her workshop. I borrowed them to teach the little ones about weight, and shortly after the lesson, well, they vanished. My first thought was that they'd taken them off somewhere to play, but when I asked, they swore they had nothing to do with their having disappeared. Which almost certainly means they had everything to do with it.
Perhaps a visit from Sid will jog their memories.
I think it just might. Thank you. I don't like to imagine that my pupils would lie to me. But if they have, I'll have no choice but to discipline them accordingly. They were in the atrium when I last saw them, as always.
Oh, that blasted book. Here, you put me in this situation, Clive. You can...
Are you sure it's me you're looking for?
I'm all the cook will be needing. Thank you very much. What I want from you is a little of your time. You remember Ivan's stew, right? So I thought I'd try making one of these supposed masterpieces myself. Had a peek at the book and gave it a go, but, well...
It wasn't as straightforward as you'd hoped. Ivan had the same problem.
Yeah, but this is my blimmin' kitchen, and I will not be outdone. So if you don't want to be seen as playing favourites, I suggest you lend me a hand.
I've never been one to play favorites, Molly. And I would be only too happy to lend you a hand. So, what's on the menu this time?
A fried mortress of skyworm. Recipe seemed easy enough to an old hand like mine. Only, turns out skyworm livers and drake's mint are not what I thought they were. At least I hope they're not, given the rancid mess they made.
Ivan said the recipes in the culinary pilgrimage date back centuries. Who's to say the ingredients even exist anymore?
Wow, that's a question for a scholar, wouldn't you say? Perhaps you know of one? Kindly old fella who haunts the shelves, maybe?
Fine. I'll go and speak to Harpocrates. Perhaps he'll know something. And if he does, I'll see if I can find your ingredients for you.
You do that. Lest we forget, you've got a reputation to uphold.
Seems the hideaway has lost its appetite.
Is a storm coming, Sid?
Will there be thunder?
Lawsman Harpocrates. I've come to pick your brain if you don't mind. It's about the book you lent Ivan.
Ah, Alicia, A Culinary Pilgrimage, a classic. One of my favorites, in fact. The young man did a wonderful job with the Chance's stew. I do hope we shall be able to sample more such marvels in due course.
That's actually why I'm here. I don't suppose you know where I might find skyworm livers and drake's mint.
Ah, so the fabled Sandbrequois delicacy is next on the menu. Delightful. The descriptions of fried mortress never... Now, skyworm is a somewhat antiquated name for the wyvern. Their ground livers being the paste from which...
Dragon livers.
One would have thought the disciples of Bahamut would have... I believe the specific dragon the recipe demands is the blueback one.
So we know where to look for our liver.
Saint's bonnet in contemporary parlance. A herb, I gather, that one can locate the cheerful yellow flowers, I may add.
Meaning that if I find one...
Best of luck, and...
North Bridge Coast.
What am I gonna...
Is everything all right? You seem more...
Oh, I don't know what that means, but I think Nan might be in trouble and she's...
It's all right. You can tell me.
There was a trader came by. One of our usuals, like. Said he'd heard some rotten rumours about her down Dallymill Way. Folk are saying she's been selling to bandits and cutthroats and that. I mean, she's fond of a chance to make a coin or two, aye, but she'd never do business with baddies. I wanted to ask her about it myself, but she'd never...
Don't worry. I'll speak to her.
You let...
Of course.
Caro. Mira, caro.
Karen,
Not near.
you're doing...
What exact? Not once in 5 long years do you pay my affairs half a care. But
Just... all right.
oh, are you?
All I know is that someone in Dalymil...
And what? You believe it? Look, I've done things I'm not proud of, but that woman is no more.
You're right, Lady Karen. It was wrong of me to doubt you.
No, it was. Now, I reckon you've got better things to do than pointing your do-gooding finger at a poor old woman.
Of course. Good day. I spoke with Lady Karen. That the rumors were unfounded, along with some other things. While it sounds like...
Oh, I knew not... But why would...
No, but people do things for...
Well, that trader, he said, so that's where I'm going.
Are you sure that's wise?
Oh, but...
Ok. Passa pour toi, Goots.
I heard the Emperor was impaled on his own.
We're all gonna die! You hear me?
What do you reckon we should do?
Sid!
Hard at your studies, I see. It's not a set of...
No.
Well, not anymore. It's...
And just how long...
We're sorry.
But we didn't break them.
Just like Miss Mididol showed us.
Miss Mididol?
Because that's the only way to become a ninja-neer.
Miss Mididol said, the best way I see out...
Well, then your work is already...
The taking apart was easy enough.
Speak for yourself. The heavy thing goes at the bottom.
You three need to learn to take... So let's have a look at these parts with... All right. Everything here was once part of Miss Mididol's scales. Every piece has its own role to play, and each is just as important as the others. If even one of them is missing, the scales won't work. So let's think about what those roles might be. You already know one of the pieces. The body. Its role is to support everything else. But what of the others? This is called the arm. What do you suppose that is?
You're right.
You've ridden a chocobo before, haven't you, Sid? Will you teach me to ride one day?
I'll think about it. Now, what do arms do?
Hold things. So wait, maybe this arm holds things too?
Good thinking. You're on the right track. These round parts are called the pans. You all know what a pan is, don't you?
I do. Molly uses them in the kitchens to fry bangers. But these aren't for frying bangers, you idiot. They're for weighing stuff. But what if I wanted to weigh Goots? I don't think he'd fit on that little thing.
Probably not.
What are the chains for? Holding the pans up?
Well spotted. Which means something must hold the chains up in turn. This tiny piece.
I have. Miss Middledale.
She puts them in all her inventions.
That's right. They're very useful when you want.
I remember the arm moved when I tried weighing an apple.
Not my fault.
We know what part's supposed to move, so let's put.
Not a bad idea. So, now that we've taken stock of the parts and learned what they do, what do you think?
I think we've got it.
Then here's what we'll do. You tell me what goes where, and I'll put the scales together.
Well, obviously you need to start with the body.
And the arms hold, just like and then the arms hold the.
Very good.
Yes, we did it.
Well, with.
Oh, I just put the pieces together. It was you three.
That's right. We're Miss Middledale's hairs.
Her hairs?
Yeah, hairs for the future. She's showing us a secret.
What do you think, Sid?
With a little more help from Miss Middledale and Miss Shirley.
You hear that?
Until then, though.
Hey, look. We never used the cogwheel.
You don't think Sid forgot?
Oh, weer dat Monster Hunt. Co to wstało? Tak będzie.
Did you see that? Tell me you saw it.
Is a storm coming, Sid? Will there be thunder?
Well...
It was as you thought. They dismantled them.
Oh, no, Mid will have my head.
Thankfully she won't. This might even have been her idea. Although I was the one who ended up teaching the lesson.
I'm so sorry, Sid. I know how busy you are. I shall see that the children are properly punished.
Please, there's no need. It seems she'd have them following her.
I see. Sid, do you know?
She told me it was because her studies have been interrupted by...
No, it isn't. The university offered her a commission. To anyone else it would be an opportunity. But to Mid, but that should come as no surprise. She's only ever...
Which explains... she's working to give them a better life.
Ah, you've given them far more than that.
Alright. You fucking serious? Ça aller chercher un read, c'est pas ça. Ça va être tout pour l'instant. On va faire un peu de ménage avec qui me plante sous les lèvres.
Where would he be, Emma?
Bon, on va enregistrer. Boop. Doop. There we go. Bye bye.